Welcome to another episode of the Don Davis Real Estate Show. It's your host, Don Davis of DDLRG, broker by Compass. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. Upon that rock, He built this church. Upon that rock, we have built our business, and our results are a reflection of our character. If you'd like to see our results, feel free to go online. You can go to Zillow, you can go to HAR, you can go to Redfin. You can go to a plethora of real estate websites to see exactly how we do business, but don't hear it from us. Hear third-party testimonials is definitely the way to go with that, and that's the reason we have one of the best third-party testimonial guests you can find in the greater Houston area, none other than Marreilly Reyes.
Yep. You were very close.
very close. With Clover Credit Repair, right?
Yes, sir.
Clover Credit Repair. You know, I tell everybody, we're in an industry where there's a lot of competition. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of competition in real estate. There's a lot of competition in credit repair. They've created multi-level marketing streams in credit repair and created different ways to get your real estate license online and things like that. So I know you're a hard worker, like I have to be a hard worker, because there's 43,000 realtors in the greater Houston area. Mm-hmm. I know there's probably 86,000 credit repair people.
So many.
But I heard you on the Real Estate Rat Pack radio show, and I said that lady is not the normal credit repair person. Go ahead and tell the audience who you are, how we met, and exactly what stands you out in the credit repair business, some of your experience and things like that. And I'll kind of intervene, but just want to hear who you are, what made you get into credit repair business, and what made you separate yourself from the pack.
So I'm Marreilly. I've been doing credit repair for almost 10 years now, and I'm not that old, just FYI. But I think what drives me to do credit repair, just I can help people.
Yes.
That's my main thing. It's amazing when I can go to the closing table with them.
Yes.
And I was such a huge part of that transaction.
Wow.
So I think that's what keeps me going. And my get into it story is not that big a deal. I was in college. I applied for a customer service position, fell in love with the industry, been doing it ever since.
Okay. So was that working directly for a TransUnion Equifax
No.
Experian?
It was at the time the biggest credit repair company in Houston.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard of them, Improve My Credit USA.
Okay. Yes, I have.
Yeah. So
okay.
I learned everything from those guys, and to this day I love them. They're my mentors. I text them. I'm like, hey, guess what?
Wow. So you're still getting deals done for people who pretty much have lost hope. Mm-hmm. I know you had mentioned that you originally were born and where you're from.
Yep.
So because I think it's very important. You have to be bilingual in Houston.
Yes.
My wife is from Panama, and so we do help Spanish-speaking clients as well. As a matter of fact, shout out to Bryant Delgado out there in the Woodlands getting deals done for me right now. I appreciate you, Bryant. But go ahead and tell us a little bit your background, where you're from, where you grew up, when you moved to Houston, and then how you found yourself in the niche and how you're going to continue to help people in that area.
So I was born in Cuba, and it's a funny story because we came when I was 5 because my dad won the Visa lottery.
Oh, okay.
And it was very, very cool because not a lot of people win it.
Yes.
So I'm like, man, thank God we won it because I cannot picture myself living over there. But I lived in Florida for about 10 years. And then at 15, I moved to Houston. And I love it.
Yes.
I love the industry. I love everything in Houston. I like that we can carry, just
yes. Texas CHLs. Texas CHL. That's another designation for you real estate agents.
Yeah. But it's just... there's so much potential here, especially in the real estate industry.
Yes.
And just because we've had ups and downs with our credit doesn't mean there's lost hope.
Exactly.
So that's what I love to be able to do.
And this is what I like that you do, that I heard you mention on another episode, is you help people of all areas. You know, you help some people have lower income, some people have higher income. You help self-employed business owners, doctors, lawyers. You've also helped your what we call blue collar people who are hardworking, going to work every day. Let me ask you this: everybody has some challenge when it comes to credit. What have you seen? Okay, let's say this. What's your hero story? What's the lowest score you've seen, and were you able to help them get into a home as well?
Yep. So the lowest I've ever had is 408 credit score.
Wow.
It took me 9 months to get them there, but we were able to get them closed.
So you were able to help somebody buy a home in less than a year with a 408 credit score.
Yep.
And did you charge them $30,000 or anything like that?
Nope. So I actually, because I really wanted to help them.
Yes.
The first 6 months I charged them $79 a month, and then the last 3 months I was like, I'll just do it for free. Just give me a good review.
Wow. Yeah, and those reviews, that's what we just talked about at the beginning of the show. You got to love where you live, love where you work. You got to love your credit repair person, but you also have to understand the reviews speak volumes. You know, you can say, hey, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And when it's all said and done, what are other people saying about you?
Exactly.
And that's what's going to stick. Even when we all go home, you know, we're on a Christian radio station, so we definitely are always thinking about the other side. When we all go home, they're going to say, what did you do while you were here on earth to help other people?
Exactly.
And so you feel you're definitely in the industry that God placed you in, so you could actually help people on this earth. And you'd be surprised, there is a demand for your you know, people say, well, you're not a pastor, you're not this, you're not that. You'd be surprised if there's a need for your gift, then God will use you. And there is a need out there because a lot of people don't understand credit. Matter of fact, speaking of that, talk about your installment accounts versus revolving accounts and things like that. What have you seen in that aspect as far as the mortgage guys that you're working with right now? What are they looking for in that aspect? Or because I think some people put so much weight on installment accounts.
Oh, I do. I do revolving.
Revolving is where to go.
So if my client comes in and they have absolutely no credit, I say get a secured credit card.
Get a secured credit card.
Start reporting within 30 days, guaranteed approval, no credit check.
Nice.
Depends where you go, though.
Exactly. but you also mentioned that you don't like furniture store credit cards.
Oh, no. I don't like any type of store credit cards.
Any store credit cards?
Any store credit cards, I don't like. Their interest is so high.
The interest is high? What about the reporting? Is the reporting as accurate as everybody else? Because I've heard that sometimes this is what I heard. I heard that on the furniture store credit cards, they only report what you borrow. They don't report your available balance.
The high limit is what they report.
The high limit. So we need to keep our balances under a certain
30%.
Under 30%. So if I have $1,000 credit card, I should never charge it over $300.
Exactly.
Okay, because I think a lot of times people say, well, I charged $1,000 and I paid it on time, I should be good. But it also looks like you could barely pay your bills. So now how many credit cards do you normally recommend?
2.
2 credit cards. That's enough to get it done.
Yep.
Okay.
Typically, it's a good 3 to 5 mix, but I'm like, hey, just 2, that's all you need. Don't go crazy.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the dirty side of credit repair, the stuff that she doesn't do, like people coming back to life and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Keep in mind, love where you live, love where you work. Love's going to get you. DDLRG, broker by Compass. Marreilly Reyes right here. Clover Credit Repair.
Yep.
Getting deals done on the Don Davis Real Estate Show. I am Don Davis of DDLRG Luxury International Real Estate, and when it's time to make a business decision about your residence, please keep in mind, it's a Don deal.
You want to excel, Don Davis is a great guy to work for. I mean, he's a great teacher and a great leader.
He's more than family. He's the guy that's actually helping me roll. I didn't know anybody when I moved out here. He's the guy rolling his sleeves up saying, come on, let's go move what you got to move.
When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a Don deal. It's a done deal. Congratulations to Tiffany and her daughters on the success of buying her second home. And when it's time to make a business decision about your home, it's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. Thank you. Don Davis Luxury Realty Group, broker by Compass, live here, 6161 Savoy, broadcasting in the studio with Clover Credit Repair, Mrs. Reyes, showing us the good, bad, and ugly about credit repair. Now, you're the good, but let's talk about the bad.
Yep.
You said you've worked with people who say, hey, you're my third credit repair person. You're a third credit repair person. Why did they come to you? Tell me some horror stories you've heard of people on the streets claiming they do credit repair.
Oh, my God. First of all, they overcharge. Overcharge. They charge up front. They guarantee results. And I'm like, please, if they guarantee you anything, run the other way.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing. And by law, we can't. I'm super heavily regulated, and if I go and I say, hey, I guarantee you I'm going to get you to a 700 credit score, I get shut down.
Whoa.
So I don't like guaranteeing, and I tell my clients, I'm like, I charge very low because I want to help.
Yes.
I could charge 150.
Uh-huh.
But why?
Exactly.
It's going to steer so many people the wrong way, and then it's going to go to people that take advantage of them, saying, hey, just pay me $400 and you'll be good to go.
Well, see, and that's what we run into on the new construction side. Some of these builders pay their salespeople salary. Some of these builders pay their salary, small salary in commission. The reason I like that aspect of it, because they want to keep you, we don't want you starving. We want you to be able to have enough gas to get to work, but we also want you to work. So you're saying you'll put your money where your mouth is. Say, hey, don't pay me everything up front. Go ahead and let me get to work. Prove myself, and then pay me.
Exactly.
And that's when you have confidence in yourself. If somebody asks you for a lump sum up front, 9 times out of 10, they're trying to take the money and run. And they're not confident in themselves to get it done. Now, what about on the other side? You were saying that sometimes there's identity theft going on. And
Yep. So a lot of people, when they overcharge, they do what's called a credit sweep.
Credit sweep.
Credit sweep, which is illegal. Because
it's illegal.
It's claiming false identity theft.
Okay.
So it causes everything that you have negative to fall off the report.
Okay.
So you can buy the house, do whatever you want, but it's illegal. You just put a fraud alert on your client's profile, and
Fraud
then everything
alert,
is
right?
going to come back on.
And it's going to jump back on there. So a credit sweep does not work because it's a temporary fix for a long-time problem, and it's not going to do anything.
Nope. That's why I tell my clients, I'm like, I'm not going to do it. First of all, I want to keep my business.
Exactly.
And second of all, I want to help you in the long run. I don't want you to be a repeat customer.
Exactly. So we call that when you're flipping houses, we call it putting lipsticks on a pig. You don't turn around and just do the cosmetic work and leave the bones and the structure where it's not up to code.
Yep.
You want to make sure you take care of the property from the inside out. And so what you're doing is saying, hey, we're not going to do a credit sweep. We want to deal with what's on that report, and we want to make sure we attack it righteously and make sure, hey, this is accurate, this is not accurate, this, hey, I know this was me. It was just too long ago. I don't think I should pay it at this point. As a matter of fact, I know you are not allowed to say that, but just give me what are the rules? Because, we've been talking about what's going on with this pandemic and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And if you look, I think it's in the Lord's Prayer as well. It says, forgive our debtors as we forget our debts. And it also said a year of Jubilee is where the land transfers from one majority ownership to the next. What I see in that is you see a 7-year rule in credit report. Okay, in that 7-year rule, how does that apply to what you've seen? Like if you were just giving an example of somebody paying $7,000 towards a vehicle. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
So this past week, I had a client that they had a repo since 2015.
Okay.
And it was reported in 2 bureaus.
Okay.
And the client said, yeah, that's mine. Should I just go ahead and settle? And I was like, we just started. Let me dispute it for you.
Okay.
And then we'll see. If we see that it's not removed, we'll do pay for deletion or try to settle with them. And in 60 days, repo gone. $7,000 deleted.
Wow.
Because it was reporting inaccurately.
Yeah, you cannot, first of all, it has to report on all 3 bureaus. So that's the first thing that's wrong. And only can report for how long? How many years?
7 years from the date of last activity. But that's where they get you.
Yes.
They report every month that there was new activity.
So if I go ahead and say I'm going to pay $20 towards it, then I'm renewing.
You're renewing it
my
every
7
single
years.
time you pay.
And I want to do Jubilee. I want to get free from this debt. So at some point, I need to cut it a loss. Well, some people say, well, Don Davis, we've been watching your show for a while. Isn't that kind of like stealing? Let me tell you something else. Don't they also have some insurance? So aren't they already paid on some of this stuff? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I'm watching my words very carefully now. If they do a charge off,
Yes.
they write it off as a loss for their company.
Correct.
But
Uh-huh.
they want to say that was extra income for you.
Exactly. So they want to
So-
1099 me, don't they? So everything works like that. Even the mortgage industry. We have insured loans, FHA, VA, guaranteed loans. These loans are basically insured on the fact that what we call, I don't know if you've watched that movie called The Big Short, where they bet against you. Basically, they say, based on the amount you put down, we didn't think you were really going to pay it, but we want to get that upfront interest. So we went ahead and got insurance default insurance on you anyway. So when you did not pay, we still got paid anyway. And people say, well, why is this industry like this? It's not just the credit industry, it's the overall industry. I don't want to talk politics and religion too much on this religion channel, but we are in a religious time right now with this pandemic. And what I think people are starting to see, they're starting to see a wealth transfer. They're starting to see a jubilee. They're starting to see that sometimes things like this are allowed to happen. And just because, I read a little extra last night, so people don't tell me I'm Bible beating yet, but I read a little extra last night, and what it simply said is God allows things like this to happen because it really doesn't belong to us anyway. And so we're playing the game of finances. However, when it becomes usury, when the interest rate is so high that somebody can't breathe financially, then it becomes slavery. And when you use financing to enslave people, then there has to be a liberation at some point in time. So I think that it's in the credit reporting laws. I think the collection agencies have jumped in to see how they can make additional money and extend it. But when the credit reporting laws were established, they were established correctly. So I think it's good to have you. You're like a referee, actually. So I play a lot of sports. My video, D. Elliott, he plays sports. Eddie plays sports. A referee is good as long as they're an honest person like yourself and they call the game by the rules. And that's what I feel like you do for the credit industry. You're calling the game by the rules. If that guy's guilty, you're saying, hey, foul. If that guy's not guilty, you say, okay, that's a 3-pointer. You know what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and go to our next break. Go ahead and tell people how they can reach you, by the way. I don't know if everybody knows how to reach you.
Yep. So I always say, text me, call me.
Text you, call you.
I always have my phone right next to me. So my number is 832-775-3313, or you can go to my website. It comes directly to me too, clovercreditsolutions.com.
Love where you live, love where you work, love your credit. Love's going to get you, DDLRG. Congratulations to the Kirkpatrick family on the purchase of that brand new home. When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal. We're back. Don Davis Luxe Realty Group, broker by Compass, live in the studio, 6161 Savoy, talking about Jubilee on your credit. Yes, a year of Jubilee on your credit. Got no one else but the Clover Credit Repair, Marreilly Reyes with Clover Credit Repair, telling us how we can get things off of our credit to establish a strong credit history so we can live our best life. Like my buddy, Mr. Snoop Dogg said out there in California, I'm sure he has some pretty good credit just because, it's all about leveraging. Initially you can pay for everything cash, but once you're able to leverage and put 20% down and make basically make your money work for you, then that's when you really are what we say cooking with gas. So credit repair, have you helped any doctors or lawyers with their credit?
I did have a doctor one time.
Okay. And tell me how that went.
It was a little difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
He was trying to diagnose you instead of the credit.
Exactly. That's what I find a lot of times. People think that they know how credit works just because my mom told me this and my aunt told me that. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Let me tell you because I want to educate you in the process.
Yes.
But overall, we fixed his credit. He was able to buy his other house that he wanted, so it all turned out fine.
His other house.
Yeah, he was getting an investment property.
Oh, wow. So he already owned a home and he needed a certain score to get that investment property. Yeah, he needed a certain score to get that investment property. So that's what it boils down to. You got to have a certain score to leverage. And I tell everybody, my kids are going through this right now. My kids are on their way to college, and now their credit score is their SAT and ACT. There's always going to be an entrance guideline for anything we do in life. You know what I mean? And so that entrance guideline is something we have to make sure that we, meet standards. And once you learn how to meet standards financially and academically, opportunities are limitless. Yep. You know what I mean?
And you mentioned your kids. They're going into college.
Yes.
They're going to start getting involved in the credit repair world or the credit world.
You're right.
So
Sears, I'm still mad at you. Sears, you got me. I was in the dorm in Brownwood, Texas, got this credit card in the mail, and my boys wanted to go drink beer.
Oh. Oh, man. I feel you.
But so once you become an adult, 18 years old, you start
pre-approvals, one after the other. So what I tell the parents, don't give them the pre-approvals.
Yes.
Add them as an authorized user on your card.
Exactly. So you have established history, and then now, have you ever seen that go wrong where somebody jumped on somebody's bandwagon and they quit paying?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. So please make sure that if you're going to be an authorized user, it's a responsible person.
Yes, you have to make sure it's a responsible person. So we're talking about authorized users. We're talking about Jubilee, about knowing when things are about to fall off your credit. We're talking about the fact that this is a game. You know what I mean? It's a financial game where you have to realize that you've got to be good at this game if you want to be successful in life. And that game is understanding how much debt you can carry and how much debt you can't. And so as a bureau, as a lender, and I know you're not a lender, but I know you work with them so much, when you say somebody charges over 30% of their limit, why is that looked at as a red flag? What does that mean to them?
So I'm going to answer from a credit repair perspective.
Okay.
Just because the lending is a whole different monster.
They just make it up as they go.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say that, guys.
But that's what they do.
No, what I tell the clients, so it's better for them to understand, is if you have over 30% or you have so much usage on the cards, the credit bureaus and the creditors start to get panicked because they're like, okay, you're using too much credit. Do you not have cash to pay me? Are you going to pay me back?
Oh, okay.
So it makes them nervous and your scores drop. I've seen 100 points drop because of high usage.
Wow. And then one more dirty thing. We were contacted by a company out of the East Coast that they said, hey, man, we're going to help your professional athletes get these homes. We can do CPN numbers. What is a CPN number?
I have no idea.
Okay, they said something about some new number that they can do instead of socials or something like that. That's good credit.
Run the other way.
So this is where you leave. See, I told you she was a referee. That's a foul. She left. So what about okay? And then what about do you do any business credit repair? Like
no.
Okay,
that's a whole different monster too.
Okay, yeah, because I think they call it a case number or something like that. Okay, well I just want to know what and I respect that. I like when people say, hey, that's out of my, like people say, Don, can you help me buy a oil and gas industrial plant? No, I can't. I do luxury real estate, and I stay in my lane, and I'm an expert in my lane.
Exactly. So, I don't want to wear too many hats. I want to say, hey, I'm an expert in credit repair. That's all I do. Exactly.
Jack of all trades, master of none, but you'd rather be the master of what you've been doing for the last 10 years, and that's credit repair. Tell people how to get a hold of you again. We got about 2 minutes left, then we're going to talk about a few properties we have for sale. But tell people how to get a hold of you again. You're welcome to come on this show anytime because there is a demand for what you do in our industry.
Yeah. So you can call me, text me, 832-775-3313, or you can go to my website, clovercreditsolutions.com.
CloverCreditSolutions.com. CloverCreditSolutions.com. It's 2020. Don't let this be the worst year of your life. Make it be the best year of your life by going to CloverCreditSolutions.com so you can get approved for that home. Now, I know I have some listeners out there that are kind of behind on the credit. They're in the 5s and 6s, and she said she helped somebody with the 4 buy a home in less than 9 months.
And consultation's free, so you don't lose anything. If you don't have a report, it's only $1. That's it.
Okay, so I think you're going to need a couple of cell phones. In the neighborhood I grew up with, you're going to need a couple of phones.
It's okay. Just text me, and I promise I'll get back to you.
Okay. Just text her. You heard text her is better. What's that number again to text you?
832-775-3313.
Say 832-775-3313. 832-775-3313. That's Miss Marreilly Reyes, Clover Credit Repair. She's going to change the world. Hey, we're going to go ahead and talk about a few lists. We only got 50 seconds left. 1406 Kirby Place, Seabrook, Texas. If you need some credit repair to go ahead and buy that home, please go ahead and take a look at it. 1406 Kirby Place, Seabrook, Texas. And then what else do we have? We're selling up everything. Oh, we have 816 Wyoming and San Antonio, Texas, right across from the Alamo Dome. That's a hot property that we have for sale. Listed at $340. A great property, walking distance to the Alamo Dome. Catch every UTSA game right there. And the rest are on our website, viewallhoustonhomes.com. Got to give a shout out to Compass. 500 transactions pending in the month of July. Average sales price $500,000. Compass Real Estate is here in Houston to stay. When it's time to make a business decision about your residence, it's a done deal. We'll see you next week.